Hello, great people. Welcome back to my channel. You tuned in for another edition of Cooking with Love, and I'm Chef Green. Today we're not going to be cooking. I am going to be sharing some of my experiences throughout this pandemic. This year, 2020, it's really been a crazy year, and I just wanted to share some of the things, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But what I wanted to share with you guys in this video is what I have endured throughout this year 2020. There have been so many different changes, good, bad, and ugly, and I just wanted to kind of share with you guys what has happened in my life and how this whole COVID-19, the pandemic, it has been a doozy, and I just wanted to share some things with you. Not all of it has been bad. There have been some pros and some cons, but it has definitely been an impactful year. So and one of the things that, well, to start, we'll start with something good. Although it's farther down in the year, because literally this whole COVID-19 pandemic started around March of 2020. And so throughout the year, what has happened, I guess I was able to tap into a gifting that I have that I had not, I guess it just had been lying dormant. And so with the pandemic, we have to wear masks. So one day I decided that I wanted to make some masks for my family. And I did that. And so I went and I bought fabric. But although I bought the fabric, I still didn't get into actually making the mask till maybe a month later. Like I said, I was initially making them for my family, my immediate family, my children. I have 4 children and grandchildren, and so I was just gonna make masks for us. And so I made my knee baby son Jaden, he wore his mask to work, and that just sparked so much from there. Like after he wore his mask to work, then he came home that day. And he was like, "Mom, you gotta get to work." And I get a little of this. At that time, I was making the mask by hand. And so he came home that day and said, "Mom, I have 14 orders. You need to get to work." And I was like, 14? Okay. So it was like really serious. But I know I wanted to deliver, and so it was something that I did, and I decided to do, and I went for it. And the orders just began to come in after that. And it made me be more productive with making the mask. And so with that, I also, like, after making masks for a while, I got a little bored with, having a sewing machine, and all I was doing was making masks. So I decided, okay, I don't know, I guess I saw it on YouTube where this lady was making a purse, and I was like, oh, I wonder if I can do that. And that's what I tried. So let me share with you guys that I made first mask with the matching purse. And then I decided, okay, let me try for teens. And I made this purse for Seminole fans and the matching mask. And my third try was the Florida Gators. And that's all. It's only because that's what was available here locally where I live. I can go to other states and find fabrics for other teams, college teams and stuff like that, but it's very difficult to find it in my local fabric store. But anyway, this is the gator purse with the matching mask. And so that's kind of some good that came out of the pandemic. I started going forth in some untapped potential. So just wanted to share that with you guys. And throughout the year, I have also like had some really rough times with, with the pandemic and losing family members, distant and close family members. It was just, I'm telling you, it was really hard. Just when you think you're getting over a hurdle of death, then something else comes, something else happens. So that was kind of a really hard hit through. I mean, it seemed like every month, and sometimes a little bit more often than that, it was death in the family. Some was due to COVID and some was due to just, sickness or whatever. Those are the biggest cons of the year, the deaths that we've experienced in our family. Another thing that can be considered a pro and a con, myself and 3 of my children were stricken with the coronavirus. And so it was just like, that was the con. But guess what? God brought us through it. That's the pro. He brought us through it. We're still here today to talk about it. And I thank God for that, because so many people lost their lives, lost family members, and my condolences to all of you. But there was, there's something that I can really thank God for, that we're still here. We were able to deal with it, push through it, come through on the other side victoriously. And I thank God for that. I was in 2 car accidents, which was maybe a couple of years ago. So that left my car totaled. And both of the car accidents were rear ends. That has nothing to do with 2020, but I wanted to make note of that, because it wasn't until 2020 we were able to go from being carless to having a vehicle again. And we got that in August. So we were no longer hitchhiking. And so that was a good thing that happened in this year. What else? Oh, exciting. I almost forgot. How could I forget? This is like on the top of the list of the pros. I have a new grandson. His name is Bryson, and he was born about 3 weeks ago. And so it has been a very exciting thing for me. I've been able to interact with him because he lives here locally. All 4 of my children live locally, and so being able to see them and my grandkids is like really awesome. So, and that's some exciting news. Just had Christmas, of course. It was a blessing to be able to receive gifts and give when I could. Thank God for what I was able to do. And I'm very grateful for the gifts that I received. A lot of stuff that I know one of my videos shows one of the gifts that I got, but I'm just grateful, for all that I was able to get, because Christmas really isn't about receiving. It's more about giving. And so I just wish I would have been able to give more than I received, but I thank God for what I received. Like I was sharing with you guys earlier, like we had a lot of loss in our family, and I want to talk about it, but I don't, because I know, like, I'm still at that point to where it affects me. So, and I'm already becoming teary-eyed. But one of the things that really was a hard hit for me, I say it was the hardest hit, was So the hardest hit was when my godbrother slash pastor, apostle slash friend, he contracted the coronavirus, and he passed away. And it was the hardest thing that I've had to deal with this year. He was near and dear to me. He was always there for me and my children, and vice versa. I shared this at his homegoing service. Like, he sacrificed for so many people. One of the things that I shared at his homegoing service was the fact that he, when I was in college, he would come, because I didn't have, my classes were at night and I didn't have a babysitter. Somewhere in the day and somewhere at night, but he would come sleep on my living room floor when he would come to, babysit my children. Mainly my youngest son is who he babysat, but it'd be times when I'll be in school and the kids would come home from school and he'd be there, because he's already there keeping my youngest son, and he'd be there to watch over them as well. And my youngest son is 18 years old, so you can imagine the history. And blood could not bring us any closer. We are not blood related, but blood could not bring us any closer. But he was my pastor for many years. He was my godbrother, because we were going to the same church at one point, and then he grew spiritually and became a pastor, and then I later joined his church, and it was just a bond. And he always would call and encourage me, and a big hit. It was a really, really big hit. But I'm trying, I'm taking it one day at a time. Also, my kids, two of my kids lost their father I'm just convinced, one of my kids, I think, they didn't say it was coronavirus, but I'm convinced it is. It was, because he had another ailment. They didn't really pinpoint that it was corona, but I personally think it was corona. One of my other children's dad, he did have coronavirus, and so that was a hard hit for me, because it affected them so much. And I lost my dad's sister. It wasn't coronavirus that took her out, but it was just what has happened in this year is kind of what I'm reflecting on. But, I thank God, like I said, that we have endured so many things, but he has strengthened and kept us and covered us throughout all that has happened. And so I just wanted to, share that with you guys. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been another edition of Cooking with Love. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below, and please share this video. And until next time, I'm Chef Green. Bye-bye.